Hello Novi, and welcome to this edition of After the Gavel. I'm City Manager Victor Cardenas. Before we get into the April 8th City Council meeting, let's talk briefly about the recent budget input session. On April 3rd, City Council held a special session where they reviewed and made comments on the proposed 2024-25 City of Novi annual budget. Two motions were approved at the special budget session. The first directs staff to create a special capital fund and move over capital expenditures like generators, trucks, playground equipment, and other items that may take some time to receive from respective manufacturers. The second motion changes the definition of a balanced budget to be that revenues equals expenses and staff must account for prior pull-ahead items so that fund balances is not impacted by prior pull-ahead items. Finally, staff was directed to identify expenditures that could be delayed or eliminated in the recommended budget that would add to the city's fund balance. All this and more will be discussed at this council's second budget session taking place on April 17th at 7 p.m. Now here's a brief recap of the April 8th City Council meeting. Through robotics, Novi's youth are learning important skills, not just in science and engineering, but in self-confidence, communication, community service, which are just as important, if not more so. 3 of our local teams were so good this year that they qualified to compete at the World Championships in Houston, which takes place in just a couple of weeks. The Novi Robotic Titans, Rapid Robots, and Atomic Toad teams spoke at City Council about what they've learned and what they hope to accomplish through robotics. Congratulations to all 3 teams and good luck at this year's competition. 3 items from the agenda to report on. First, Council awarded a 3-year contract for auditing services to Riemann Robson. City Council discussed the qualifications and cost of 2 options presented by city staff, Riemann Robson and Yo PC. Ultimately, City Council decided to continue using the audit services of Riemann Robson, which has been the city's auditor for the last 5 years. There was robust discussion about Matter 3 regarding hiring a professional management company to evaluate the recent recommendations of the Public Safety Needs Committee. This company would also propose the next steps for City Council concerning a new police headquarters and 3 new fire stations. The building in which houses the city's police department, built in 1980, is too small and does not meet the needs of today's workforce, or does not meet the needs of the partnerships we have with state and federal agencies. Fire stations 1 and 2 were built in 1981 and have not been updated since 2009. Fire Station 3, which is located on the south side of the city, was built in 1978 and has never been updated. Everyone agreed that ensuring our police and fire departments have the adequate facilities is critical. Ultimately, the City Council voted to move forward with hiring a professional management company via a competitive bid process to help the city take the next steps in the process. Lastly, City Council had the opportunity to review a proposed mixed-use development to be located on approximately 34 acres on the south side of 10 Mile east of Novi Road. The proposal includes 71 2-story owner-occupied townhomes and nearly 36,000 square feet of local retail and restaurants. City Council heard directly from the developer, provided feedback, and expressed their concerns about certain features of the proposal. Since this was an initial review, there was no motion for approval or vote necessary. The development still has to go through the normal Planning Commission process and return to the City Council for PRO approval. That's all for this edition of After the Gavel. As always, you can watch every City Council meeting in its entirety, catching all of the actions that went down, including who supported what and when. These meetings can be viewed live or on demand on our website, cityofnovi.org. Additionally, our extremely detailed agendas and minutes of all of our meetings can be also found on our fantastic website. Until next time, have a great week.